Brownie.
It's a podcast bonus.
Another
iconic legend has just penned a book. Eddie Betts, the great Eddie Betts, who's just retired. Carlton legend, Adelaide legend. I'll tell you what, the Adelaide Crows will be more an Adelaide guy.
No, I love him, but yeah.
Played his best footy at Adelaide. That hurts you, doesn't it, as a Carlton supporter?
It's funny, every now and then I wear my Eddie Betts. They released a long sleeve top for it to celebrate his 350th game, and it had a list of his achievements, right? But it's in the blue, it's in the navy blue, and it's a Carlton thing. Yeah, most of his achievements happened when he was playing for Adelaide.
That's right.
That does hurt.
Nice.
Just like Chris Judd. Suck it.
Yeah, suck it. Four goal of years he won, and he ran second 5 times.
Really?
Yeah. It was a goal of the year. And some mark of the year as well.
Seems unlucky.
Anyway, he penned this book, Swanee, and we're focusing now on this whole Adelaide Crows saga. The Crows, it's fair to say, have been damage control this morning.
Okay, tell me about this story.
Well, this whole sort of leading into the 27 grand final where they were spanked by the Tigers. Now, they were the hot favourites going to the grand final.
The 2017
grand final.
Okay.
So the prelude, the weeks leading into that, where
I remember this.
They got a leadership company, an external leadership company in called Collective Mind, which is out there. It's in the public. Can't get sued over that, even though Eddie hasn't mentioned them in the book. They came in to help with some of the leadership stuff. And then they did a pre-season camp after the 2017 grand final loss. So this period spans about... let's call it 6 to 12 months. Well, Eddie has detailed some of the goings-on and just how horrific some of his experiences were.
Is it fair to say that it was not Kumbaya, it was SAS?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And worse.
Well, SAS, but I think it seems logical, some of the SAS stuff. You're going to war, but some of the mind games they were playing, like Eddie said, it felt like a piece of me was brainwashed after the experience with these sessions. There was all sorts of weird shit that was disrespectful to many cultures, but particularly and extremely disrespectful to my culture, Eddie wrote in the book. I'm going to take you to this one. The leadership company at stages in the lead up to 2017 after losing successive games, they reviewed game videos and gave feedback to players in a team meeting about their facial expressions because their facial expressions weren't serious enough and weren't warrior-like when they ran through a team banner. So they were giving feedback about how they... What? Come to think of it, some of your bloody smirks some mornings in here, Sam. Some of your facial expressions. Not on. Lift.
Can I suggest that this is newsworthy because it feels as though ever since that camp that the Adelaide Crows and the others involved have been on the defensive about this, and they've said no,
nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here, and they've it's been investigated, and there was nothing untoward, and we thought this was completely normal. Obviously, it didn't work for Adelaide, but both Adelaide and everyone from outside is on. They were in a grand final, and then this all happened,
favourites.
And then since then they've been a basket case, right? So. For Eddie to do that, this is why it's newsworthy. For Eddie to say this seems to go against everything that's been said since it happened.
Astonishing, some of the things. Exactly right. So he's blown it all out of the water. So the evidence out there. Another one, they had to stand around in a circle, make eye contact with each other and scream profanities at each other. One of the younger Indigenous boys said to Eddie, I see you as an uncle. I don't really like screaming F you at you.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then they went on to say the company got them to practice a power stance. So the power stance, which was famous in that finals run in 2017.
Corny.
Of course, in the grand final, it was embarrassing where they would stand there in a strong position with their arms out to the side and death stare the opposition. Eddie said they were forced to practice that at training in the lead up to the grand final. Now, when they got their ass kicked,
what
were the coaches doing?
They had to practice standing still. They were pretty. They were very good at it, by the way. They did it during the first and second quarter of that grand final.
They did too, didn't they?
How can a team or a coach or whoever's making these decisions miss the mark so badly?
I know. It is shocking. You go, geez, leadership. Where was it? Then the grand final, they were spanked. After the grand final, they came up with the ingenious idea, let's have a pre-season camp. Now, we've all done these gruelling pre-season camps where it's very physical. Melbourne Storm do one every year, but there's none of this crap that goes on. So they were blindfolded, thrown onto a bus, after doing a training session and then driven to a secret location with the Richmond theme song blaring through the speakers of the bus on the hour-long trip to the secret location.
This is
Mick
so
Malloy pays to have this done to him every Friday night anyway, by the way.
When they got there, Eddie was forced to be initiated by jumping into a body harness with rope attached, and then he had to fight through his teammates and told to try and find his way towards a knife. So he had to cut himself free. That was the initiation.
This prepares you for football, doesn't it?
Now, this is the big quote. Things were yelled at me that I had disclosed to the camp's counsellors before the camp, which he thought was private. All the people present heard these things. I was exhausted, drained and distressed about the details being shared. Another camp dude, one of the facilitators, jumped on my back and started to berate me about my mother. Something so deeply personal that I was absolutely shattered to hear it come out of his mouth.
Oh, my God.
This is bizarre.
And then at the end of the camp, the players were told they all sat around and they were all in a safe space and talk about the issues that were affecting him. Then they did an exercise where we sat around and did role play. That consisted of role playing our responses to our partners when we got home to tell them about our experiences on the camp.
What is going on here? And wasn't there a bit of a scandal with one of the team members coming out at the time and saying this was awful and we don't like it? Wasn't there that as well?
There was lots of lots of blowback, or there was lots of on the back of this happening. But this seems to have been the first time that's actually been confirmed.
Yeah, a lot of the details have come out.
These details. Whatever happened to just kick the kick? Hey? What happened to just a bit of circle work and just a bit of lane work?
It's weird, the role playing. My experience with role playing, Pikey's sitting in the corner with a snooker ball in his mouth, but that was all. But that was okay.
Why didn't you put that in your book, by the way? Why don't you put that detail in your book?
Now, hey, when you're playing golf today, I want to see the power stance on the first tee, Sam.
Come on.
But anyway, there you go.
That is unbelievable.
Bring a bit of damage control from the Crows today.
And Eddie's not doing any publicity today, and I get it.
I'm looking forward to working with him at Fox Footy on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll ask him real hard questions.
I'm sure we will. But there you go. So...
Having said that, I'd rather go to that camp than have a skin fold test.
Chrissy, Sam and Brownie, Ripper Show will be back tomorrow. Chrissy, Sam and Brownie, unless it's a weekend.
Over 100.